Good evening. I have a feeling we are back. So if you're thinking you're seeing double or you're trying to find our live, I'm ever so sorry. We seem to have had a bit of a gremlin this evening, a little ticky boxy thing, and I don't know what it's called, so please forgive me. Seems to have completely froze. I think it's something to do with the heat. When we were freezing and going off air, I was saying to you, oh, how hot it is here on the East Coast. It is baking today, and I planned sillily to wear a shirt for this evening. I should be here in shorts and t-shirt, but nevertheless we are here, we are live, and hopefully we are back and you can hear us and you can see us. Now I do apologise completely for the gremlins, but I suppose we don't do bad, do we? We don't often get the old gremlins. No. But I think tonight, heat-wise, they've crept in and they've attacked my little box. So we're back and we're going to go through this very quickly, because if you haven't seen the first video, you won't know what we're on about. So just in case you recap and rewatch this one, we're going to do this at speed, lightning speed. So our homework winner this week is Amanda Gregory. Amanda, if you are watching, please can you email us at jamierodgerscrafts@hotmail.com and let us know your address so we can send out your prize for this week's homework competition. Our new homework will be set later on this evening, but it is already posted onto our group, which is Creative Expressions Official Group. This evening we are joining you all together. Feel like we're doing a bit of a wedding, but we're joining you all together to talk to you about our brand new Stockist launch, our brand new collection, which is now available for our stockists all around the world. If you missed the read through on the list on take one, let's just quickly do it for take two. The stockists you will be able to find our goodies at, as of right now, is going to be picture stamps in New Zealand, J-Craft in Australia. Here in the UK, you'll be able to track them down at The Art of Craft, Glitter Bits, Crafts and Gifts, our brand new stockist, A Crafty Place, Craft Mania, Dragon's Paper Craft, Gilly's Crafts, Cheshire Crafts, Hazel's Crafts, Craft Bliss and Into Craft, and we will run through that list later on a bit slower, but I'm very conscious you've heard all this once potentially, and now I am running through it all again. Now on our last take, we just got to the point where we was going to introduce you to our brand new collection in case you haven't seen these items. These of course launched exclusively yesterday on Hobby Maker, and we did have a full run through of all of our samples on last Thursday's Thursday night Natter. So tonight we're going to run through them again very quickly to give you a bit of inspiration and hopefully a few ideas on what you could be creating, and then we'll try and fit in a demo or two as well. Now apologies if you can now hear what sounds like an Arctic lorry pulling up outside. It's very warm here at the warehouse, and we do have the windows and doors open just so we can keep breathing, because the last thing you want us to do is cark it live because of the heat. So, shall we jump on in and have a little look? But before we do, let's just check you are with us and you can hear us. So, a lot of you are back with us. I'm so pleased you've come back. Thank you again for coming and joining us. It's always awkward when they cut off, isn't it, to know whether we'll come back or how long it will take. So, I'm really pleased you're back with us. So, let's jump in and start looking through this collection, shall we? Because it's such a lovely one and it'll be nice to take you through it quickly. So first of all, in this brand new release, we have our circular snowflake frames. Now this die, the recommended retail price for this one is $28.99. It's a huge die set. It's 6.8 inches by 6.8 inches. It has 3 dies in this set, and that gives you quite a few options. You have got your snowflake circle, and around the edge you have a separate edge die so you can trim it out like you see it here. If you don't wish to use the outside edge, you can of course trim it into all of your panels. So whether you use nesting dies to go around it, whether you trim it out, whether you leave it in your cardstock, all options that are going to work brilliantly. On top of that, you've then got your large snowflake die sat in the centre here. Now this is a huge snowflake, and this is perfect for making Christmas tree decorations out of, hanging ornaments in the middles of windows on your cards, or of course creating much nicer big background elements with it as well. It's also great for folding and creating 3D elements too. Lastly, of course, that circle we mentioned over here also comes to you as a plain circle. So whether you wish to use this to cut apertures, or you wish to use it to cut backing plates to go behind the frame or behind the actual filigree panel, it's all up to you. It gives you the creativity to do whatever you wish. When we start playing with this set, speaking of that leaving in, that ability to leave off that outside edge, means that we can use it to create great edger effects actually on the edge of our card. So this is a 7x7 if I remember rightly, and I've just trimmed that in going off the edge, and then cut away the excess so that I've got this amazing edger ability, that little secret window looking onto the inside. Laura's done an amazing plaque here, an actual MDF plaque that she's decorated, and doesn't that circle fit perfectly on top of our circular MDF plaques? Another little project done by Laura here where she's created a hanging bauble, which looks really lovely, doesn't it? And this is what I mean about creating decorations to maybe hang up on garlands or hang up on our tree, or of course hanging those apertures on our cards. And this one would even fold down flat so you could post it and then pop out the other end. So maybe you want to do a matching bauble to go with your project that they can then hang on the tree year after year as a reminder of the card that you've sent. Ian has created this lovely one on a circular base, so that's the circle from the actual main die set. He's folded that in half, he's then mat and laid a few different size circles from our mats and layer collection, and then on a little spring he's added the large snowflake onto the middle, and he's also misted this large snowflake with our brand new misters that we're going to be talking about shortly as well. This is one of the cards that I demoed actually on Hobby Maker yesterday, so if you'd like to know much more about this one, you can watch it being demoed on the first show if I remember rightly. But this one brings in the circle, it brings in Rodney, our adorable snowman we're going to be looking at this evening, and it brings in our misters going over the papers that we'll also be having a little look at. Here's one of our ones where we bring lots of our characters together. So you can see here we've got Rebecca and Rodney all nested inside that frame. And of course that frame has this time been cut inside our scalloped and pierced squares. And this is one of the things I love to do. It's taking these elements and cutting them into different panels, whether they're our nesting dies or maybe tonics or carnations or whoever's you may already have. It's just a great way to take those dies and get a completely different style from them. This is gorgeous. This one's done by Wendy. Wendy has made a little easel card using that snowflake frame on the front here. Bringing in, and this is what I love with our collections, she's brought in our traditional poinsettia and our ferns, which came out last month. You can also see our Merry Christmas sentiment, which is actually a much bigger sentiment, but she's snipped it down to Merry Christmas. And in the background, you can also see that Wendy has chosen to emboss our snowfall stencil to give her that lovely background effect. And that actually came out last year. And this is what I love. All of these elements come together to work so nicely, year on year, collection on collection. This is that large snowflake that you've seen throughout that big frame set actually being brought in and being used to create a background element. And again, this is one that I demonstrated on Hobby Maker yesterday on the later show, the 6 PM show. Here's another one, bringing in our square frame that we're going to be looking at shortly, but actually bringing in the main focal of the large snowflake from the circle and placing it in the middle here. I'm going to go a bit quicker because I've got loads of these to go through and to share with you, but there is such incredible inspiration. Now, if you would like to see these in more detail, you've got a couple of options. Of course, you can watch last week's Thursday night Natter and you can catch up with that on our Facebook page. You can go to the video tab and you can watch it there, or you can pop on over to our YouTube channel. And on our YouTube channel, we upload all of our lives after they've happened. So it's usually the next day. So you can pop on there and you can catch up there. Now, a lot of these cards were also shared or shown during the live shows on Hobby Maker as well. So again, even if you don't want to necessarily watch all of it, you can of course skim through them and just see the moments when we're holding up all of the cards to give you a bit more inspiration from them. And then to top that off, if you would like to see them in picture form, if you pop onto our website, www.jamierodgerscrafts.com, and you click the Idea Gallery tab, you will find that there is a little picture of the brand new collection. And if you give that a click, it will take you through. And I think I'm safe in saying pretty much all of the creations we have made from myself and the DT are all pictured on there. And then you can actually have a little click at them, you can save them, treat it a little bit like Pinterest. You can save those pictures and you can go back to them time after time. You don't have to save them. They will remain on that website for a very long time for you to be able to go back to. But it's a great little inspiration hub. All of our releases so far have a page, they have a gallery, and you can go back and look through them. So maybe you missed a release, maybe you'd like some more inspiration from original Rodney, maybe you'd like some more inspiration with the Dies to Dot collection. They all have a tab, they all have a big album full of ideas for you. Now, moving on, this of course is our square snowflake frame. Very similar to before, we have got that main snowflake frame and we have that different outside edge, that edge that we can use to give us a fin edge, Well, we can leave that off and we can leave it in the front of our card, or we can trim it out with a guillotine or another nesting die to give it a different look. You can of course use that plain square to create its own panel as well. And then to top this one off, instead of bringing you that large snowflake, because we've already done that, that's in the circle, we thought what we'd do instead is bring you smaller snowflakes. Oh, one that's got caught, sorry, let's fold that down. Smaller snowflakes that can marry up and go over the top of this frame, if that's what you'd like to do with them, or you can use them completely on their own. Now this square snowflake frame, to give you its official name, again the recommended retail price for this one is $28.99. And one of the bits I personally love of this is you don't only have the choice of using it as a square, you can of course trim it and use it like I have in this one to create a rectangle. You could use it just as an independent border, you can trim it and use it as a corner. There is loads you can do with this, and this is another one of the cards that I actually demoed yesterday on Hobby Maker. Can't remember which show that one was, but I'm sure if you have a little flick through, you'll be able to see it if you would like to. This one's gorgeous. This one's done by Diane, and she's cut all of those individual snowflakes and brought them together to make this incredible wreath. This one by Wendy, where Wendy's used the snowflakes and actually put them into the frame, then built up with some poinsettias. This one's lovely again, featuring the smaller snowflakes that Ian's created. Here's another one of the cards I demonstrated yesterday on Hobby Maker for you as well. And then this is lovely. Let's see if we can get this one. This one here is beautiful. Look at this. This again, done by Wendy. She's brought those large snowflakes in from the circle, and then she's brought the small snowflakes in from the square, and she's teamed all of that with these beautiful poinsettias to create a lovely effect, which I thought was really, really beautiful. Now, of course, these frames are a great placement area for our characters. So here is Rodney having his snowball fight built up in the frame with all of those beautiful snowflakes around him and the little snowballs flying back and forth against Rodney's little fight. And we've also got a little pile of them down there too. Now, Ian's done a very clever one here. Ian's made this beautiful slimline card, and he's trimmed out the snowflakes to make these gorgeous corner elements, which I absolutely love because it gives a completely different style to what you possibly would imagine you're going to be achieving with this big frame. It really does show how it can be trimmed down to all different styles and all different projects, depending on what bits of it you want to focus in on. So that square snowflake frame, that one's recommended retail price is $28.99, to give you a little glimpse at that. Oh, I've got a couple more cards here I wanted to share with you. This one's lovely. This one's done by Emma. I have a feeling Emma will share a video with you shortly on how she's created this. I might be wrong, so don't hold me to it, but I think there may well be a video coming with that one. And then this one, I'm actually going to leave this one out, so I remember to talk to you about this one again shortly. But this one, I don't actually know why it's in this pile. I don't think it should be in this pile. So we'll move on. We'll come back to that in a minute. We don't need to look at that now. We'll come back, I promise. Peter, please, I'm just going to waffle for the next 10 minutes. So if you've got any questions, please jump on in there and tell me, and I'll slow down and answer them.
No, all good.
Right.
All
Good.
Yeah.
Have they all come back and found us?
Yes, they have.
Good.
Some went shopping. Buying some of the goodies whilst we were frozen.
Oh, bless you. Oh, how lovely to hear. Oh, how nice. That's really lovely. Thank you. Thank you genuinely for your support. And I know I get a bit soppy. I am quite a sentimental person, so I have to be careful because you're going to think I'm a bit balmy. But genuinely, we couldn't do this without your support. And that doesn't matter whether you purchase from the TV, whether you go for a Stockist, wherever you go, you make this happen. You make things like these little frames up here keep growing and appearing, and you make this. Everything we do is because of, at the end of it all, you're supporting us and you're sharing us. It doesn't even have to be about purchasing. It can just be joining in with our lives and sharing our posts and interacting with us. It spreads our word, it spreads our reach, and it spreads what we can do and bring you. So thank you all, genuinely. It's your support that makes all the difference. So this is the next one we're going to be looking at. This is our winter scene. So this one's recommended retail price is $17.99. $16. I haven't got the price of this right once, have I?
No.
Every time I talk to Pete about this one, I move the price point. So this one's $16.99. That's why we keep Pete here. He's not really a hostage. He's here just to keep us. I bring the prices
down, you put the prices up.
It's not intentional. It's just I have a memory like a fish. Yeah. And Pete does keep us on track. Now this again, done by Emma. Beautiful layered frame effect here. Again, you might see a video of this one. This one's lovely as well. This one's done by Ian. Again, I could call out all of these. They're just every one of them so different, so beautiful, so cleverly created. Genuinely, we have got such an amazing team that, again, we couldn't do it without them. They bring us all of these amazing layouts and ideas and styles, and they take us right the way from gift tags, right the way through to cards. And then later I'm going to share with you some scrapbook pages as well. Now this one, I'm going to give this a little shout out, not because I'm big-headed and it's mine, but because I know you like to know about measurements. This is one that we demoed on Hobby Maker yesterday. I believe it was at the very end of the 6 p.m. show. We only had a few minutes to do it, but there is a demo explaining how that one was created. I know you like your measurements. If you do watch that show back, you'll be able to see how that one's done. I love a bit of construction, and this collection certainly lends itself beautifully to being sort of brought into 3D projects and being built out to give real lovely effects. Now, as we flick through these, aren't they absolutely glorious? And as you see them and we go through them, you just see how each member has taken these products off in completely different directions. And this is gorgeous. Who's done this one? This one's Diane. Diane's brought in our beautiful church. I love this church stamp, and that church works so well with this kind of frosty Christmas scene that Diane's built up around it. And I also really like that monochrome styling too. Now Sharon's done this one. This is an MDF tag. Little taps, you can see it's an MDF. I love that. I thought that was really good fun. And you're going to see a few of our DT have gone for this sort of Aurora Borealis style toppings, night sky effect. But Sharon, again, beautiful work. And I also love the gilding flakes that she's used on the trees. That looks really lovely. Genuinely though, it's hard to pick between them. We're so lucky to have such an incredible DT, and we keep growing it, like this lovely card here. This one's been done by Siobhan, who's one of our new members as well. And I love the way that Siobhan's sort of layered the trees round in this little arc and then brought them round onto the front here and teamed them up with the paper with the trees on. And then the way she's coloured the reindeers and the way she's stamped actually onto the snow. Really, really lovely. And that toning in here of the gemstones black glitter being used over that reverse layer just matches in beautifully and brings it all out, doesn't it? That black layer really sets everything off. Another MDF tag here, beautiful. And again, showing you how that same scene can be taken through from MDF and home decor, gift giving, right the way through to matching cards as well and creations. And then this one again by Wendy. Beautiful card, bringing in the presents that you're going to see shortly with Rebecca, our beautiful snowman, our 3D tree, and then again going back to the sentiments that we brought out last month as well, showing how our Christmas collections truly do work together. Everything mixes and matches and comes together to create beautiful cards. And such different cards as well, and this is something I love with our DT. We really do go off on so many different tangents and styles, and I always feel that's a really good thing for you as viewers and you as crafters to see all of these different takes. We might not like everything because we're not going to, are we? We all have our favourite colour schemes and our favourite styles, but to me, if we can take one idea, one thread, one colour scheme, one loose idea from the project, then it was worth us showing it to you and giving you that little beacon of thought. On to Rodney. So Rodney, he is our beautiful character. We launched Rodney last year and we brought you Rodney in a stamp form. This was our original Rodney the Snowman, and he is still available. The recommended retail price for Rodney on his own is $9.99. Since last year's launch last June, we've been telling you time after time that we're going to have to bring you back more of Rodney's family and Rodney's story, and that's exactly what we've done this year. So this first stamp set is Rodney's Snowball Fight, and as you can see, he is exactly the same Rodney. We've just given him a bit of a tweak, a bit of a more pointy nose, but he's still got all of the Rodney characteristics, but this time he's off on a bit of an adventure. This time he's having a snowball fight. And that's really great because it means that you can use original Rodney and new Rodney together on a project, and it doesn't double up too much. If you have got original Rodney, it's going to work brilliantly, even with Rodney in this new release. But of course, if you haven't, then don't fear, you can get hold of him in the new release, or of course you can go back and get the original. Now, one of the things I'm going to point out in the original that I love is this snowflake corner, and that's why this card is out, because I absolutely love how beautiful this works. This snowflake is such a pretty snowflake, and it looks so lovely being put around the edges of our panel here, and of course decorating around our window. And we're going to be looking at these papers again shortly. They're our new papers to be taking a little scoot through. So original Rodney, £9.99. Brand new Rodney, the Rodney's Snowball Fight. Now this is where we've upped the game a little. Not only do we have stamps, we have dies. So you've got a DL set of stamps in this one, and then you've got your matching dies to cut out the snowballs, the snowball in midair, and the snowball splat, as well as Rodney himself. So all of that set together, the recommended retail price is £19.99. Not only do you have Rodney's little story of his snowball fight, you've also got a few sentiments to go with it as well. Winter wishes, snowball fight, have a cool Yule, and have a ball this Christmas. And then you've also got a snowflake to add in and stamp into the background. Anytime we find a gap on a sheet of stamps, we will fit something in it to make sure you are getting the best value for money you can possibly get. We might not always be able to match them in dies, because again, we want to keep that price point as low as we possibly can, but give you all of the essential components that you need. Now, Rodney can be taken off in so many different directions. He can be built up with all of the different characters as well. So here we've got Rebecca and Rodney, his lovely wife, coming together. Again, you can use him on his own. This one's lovely done by Laura. She's built them up and put them into an acetate frame. And the acetate, she's used our gemstones, our white diamond gemstones texture paste, through our snowfall stencil to make her very own snowfall acetate, which is really cool because that can be quite an expensive product to purchase, but actually showing you here how you could make your own with our stencil and with our texture paste. Now this is actually one of the cards we demoed for you on last week's Thursday night Natter, and we show you how to make the stepper element. And again, if you'd like to know the measurements of that, you can watch back on Facebook, or of course you can watch back on YouTube. This one's a lovely one. I love this. Here we've got Riley and we've got Rodney, and they're proper having a snowball fight. And it reminds me of Angry Birds, where they're kind of ducking the snowballs as they're going through the air. And we can see the papers coming in, we can see the large tree, we can see the birdhouse. It's all coming together. It's all working brilliantly to tell that story and make that scene. Now another one here, where this time we've again got Riley and Rodney mid-action here with their snowball fight, and a lovely kinetic card where it's kind of going through and building that scene. Isn't that a clever way to tell the story and sort of show the action as it unfolds? Now, shall we move on to our next character? Our next character in the pile, this one's lovely. This is Rodney's daughter we're going to introduce you to next. This is Rosie. So Rosie's Skiing Adventure. And again, with this one, we have got stamps, we have got dies. So in this set, we have got 3 dies and 5 stamps. One of the stamps I absolutely love in this is the snow, because this one can come in all year round, depending on the colour we use. So maybe this is going to be confetti that's going to go with that church that we did earlier. Maybe it's going to be like a polka dot background or a splatter background that's going to go into your mixed media. Or maybe just a really fun, colourful background that you're going to do with your birthday creations. It could be anything, depending on the colour you want to work with. But team this with a white or a grey ink pad, and you have got beautiful snowfall that can work perfectly to build your scenes. I also really love the little bird and the birdhouse, because again, that works with all of the snow people and helps tell the story. In this one, you've also got the sentiment, having so much fun. And these characters, again, build up to create beautiful cards. This is another one that we demonstrated on Hobby Maker yesterday. But there is loads of these to take you through. So much inspiration, including this one from Ian, where he's created a little penny slider card. Isn't that lovely? I love that.
He gets dizzy every week, doesn't he? Bless him.
He does. But again, all of them, every one of them, a show-stopping element that looks truly beautiful. This one's lovely again. This one's done by Diane, and I would never have imagined to put pink in with our lovely snowman people, but I think that looks so beautiful and so elegant, the way she's used the enchanted sprinkles over Mica to create that lovely shimmer and shine. Now, moving on, we're going to have a little look at Rebecca. Rebecca is Rodney's wife. By the way, just in case I forgot to tell you, every single one of these stamp sets and die sets is $19.99. So it doesn't matter whether we're looking at Rodney, Rebecca, Riley or Rosie. Each one of these I bring in is $19.99 recommended retail. So Rebecca's gift of Christmas. You've got Rebecca as main star of the show. We've then got beautiful presents that can be used all year through. We've got a tag that matches up with several of the sentiments throughout all of the different collections. And then we've got a snowflake and die set as well. You've then got a few words. We've got with love, from me to you this Christmas, and sending winter wishes. And this one again is an absolutely lovely one to team up and build our scenes with. Now, whether that's with all of the rest of the Snow family, or whether that's actually bringing in Mr. and Mrs. Christmas and them very cheeky elves that we launched last month. If you've not seen these, I'm going to just show these to you as well. These again are available from the Stockists. You've got Father Christmas and you've got Mrs. Christmas and the elves. And these are two different sets, again, very similar. Stamp and die set, recommended retail price $19.99 per set. I adore the elves. You know, last year I said to you there was going to be more from Rodney this year. I'm gonna say it. I think next year we need more from the elves. They just make me smile.
True, mischievous, aren't they?
They are, and I think we need more elves next year. But just like Rodney this year, this is a good time to start the collection because the next year's elves will have to work with this year's elves. So we won't double up. We will give you new versions, maybe new characters.
We could have a DT elf edition.
Oh, that'd be
and
fun.
You and me.
So we could do all of the team as elves.
Could.
Oh.
There, put your thinking caps
on.
Oh.
What do we think to that, guys? Do we want a little Peter elf, Jamie elf, Ian, Wendy, Sharon, Emma? Help me out. Siobhan, Lynn, Wendy? Have I gone through them all?
He's cracking,
Have I gone through them all?
He's cracking.
I thought this yesterday. We need to write all of the names down somewhere for me because I always get halfway and I forget. I always do. Honestly, I don't have a memory. It's very alarming. The memory is gone. Laura. I don't think I got Laura. Laura's the one who made the card. Oh no, it was Emma who made this one. Sorry, Laura. Sorry, Emma. But yeah, so it could work. But we could do that, couldn't we? I like that idea. They wouldn't want to look too much like us, obviously. But maybe they could have a little characteristic or a little style that you could see was each of us.
I presume I'd be like a Debbie McGee version, would I?
Oh, we'd have to do Gwen as well.
We could.
Gwen would have to have an elf.
Medieval elf.
A medieval elf. I don't know. I think we might be mixing too many things. Diane. I miss Diane. I'm not good at this.
Oh, Diane.
No, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at the roll call name bit, am I? But yeah, we certainly could do that.
Diane said she'd love to be a naughty elf.
I think I like that idea, Pete. I do like that idea. You're going to have to remind me when it gets through to the next time we're designing Christmas. But I think that could be a really fun idea. I'm not convinced we couldn't. I don't know, how many elves do you reckon we could do? Do you reckon we could bring in the team here at HQ as well? Could we have a little elf for everyone who works here?
Yeah, I think so.
How many elves do you reckon we could have?
We could have like 4 different sets of the JRC CE Enterprise.
We could, couldn't we? I like that idea. Okay, we're going to stop talking about that because we're off on a tangent. You can hear how me and Pete's minds work, and that will have to happen now. So our next stamp and die set, this is Riley's North Pole Adventure. And as you can see here, Riley is a son of Rodney and Rebecca. And he's got a little sleigh where he's pulling along little Mr. Ted. He's got some presents. He's got a snowflake. He's got a few different sentiments as well. And he's also got North Pole this way, which works really nicely with the elves as well. You're chuckling over there.
Kathleen's leading us astray.
What does Kathleen
She says suggest? Medieval wench, Gwen elf.
I just don't know if we can. I don't know if we can go to the wench elf combo.
Well, she's conjuring up. Anyway, I missed Alison's question earlier. Alison, she had a question about the Pro Cut.
Oh, what's your question?
I think she means cutting 2 layers of card. She says when you cut a corner out and you want a colour underneath it.
Yep.
How do you do it to just emboss the pattern? But how do you do it to just emboss the pattern but cut it out, please? I used a rubber mat, but it all cut out.
We'll have a play. When we get to demo, remind me because I'll forget, memory like a fish, but we'll have a play and I'll show you what I think you mean, what I'm interpreting you mean. You will talk in perfect sense. My brain just doesn't quite work like that all the time. So that was Riley's North Pole Adventure, $19.99 for that set. And that is our 4th and final snow person. But throughout these collections, you might have spotted a little cheeky bit of shimmer, and that is coming to you from the brand new Mica Mists. There are 6 of these. There is Sage Pearl, Copper Pearl, Ocean Pearl, White Pearl, Mint Pearl and Gold Pearl. Now, if you was looking to collect these individually, yesterday on Hobby Maker, the White Pearl one sold out. But don't forget, Stockists have got these. So if you would like to get hold of that individually, then of course check in with your stockists to see who's got that available. I'm sure you'll be able to track that one down. Now these mists are beautiful. That mica shimmer is what you're seeing here reflecting in the light. And as you can see, they react completely differently on white and dark card. Now we show you on the boards in white and black, but you of course can play with lots of different shades, lots of different techniques and create completely different results. But actually, when we strip them back to white and black card, you can see just how beautiful these are. That gold on that black isn't that glorious. And you can see how concentrated the mica is. If I bring that up a bit, look how beautiful that is. These are jam-packed with mica. They are full on shimmer and shine in every mist. They're beautiful. Even on the white, that beautiful subtle gold. If you're doing a golden wedding, maybe you want a subtle background to go behind a Christmas card. Maybe you're going to do our homework this week with that little pop of gold that we're going to be talking about shortly. They would work beautifully. The white, of course, it's going to work beautifully for snow. So you look at that white going through here on the black and then think about teaming that with our snow stencils or our snowflake stencils, depending on how bold you want that to be. Now, as you can see, the blue, doesn't that look like rain? I thought that was really lovely, that kind of frosty rain. And then this copper, how vintage is this one? So if you're into your mixed media, you're into your kind of scrapbooking, your vintage effects, how beautiful will that one be? Now, not only, of course, can we use them as a mist, as you've seen to create these boards, we can take them out, we can use them as a paint. But again, one of my favourite things I will always go on about is mixing. So why not mix these into clear texture paste and create your very own subtle shimmer texture pastes. So if you have a little look at this one, this is the Ocean Pearls. This is clear texture paste with 3 pumps of this mixed in to give you this beautiful light blue, glossy glazed style backing. Isn't that stunning? Now, of course, you don't have to stop there. Once you've started putting this into your clear texture paste, how about sprinkling in some glitter? How about sprinkling in some gilding flakes? How about sprinkling in some mica? How about sprinkling in all of them things you've potentially already got in your crafty cupboard to create brand new combinations of products? And to me, that's where it gets really exciting. I also love this white one mixed in with a clear and then placed over black card. Kind of gives you a silvery look, but again, would look beautiful through the snow stencil. So there are mica mists. Now, last things that I want to share with you is, of course, our papers. Now, we have launched our very first Jamie Rodgers Crafts paper pack. Now, this is a bit of an impressive pack. I'm not going to lie to you, this is huge. It's A4 in size. You're going to receive 60 sheets. There's 30 designs and you're going to receive 2 of each of them. So you don't have to double up, you're already going to get 2 of each. If you like something, you fall in love with it. If you want one to stroke and one to use, you've already got it in one packet. 140 GSM means they're a great weight to be working with, and that uncoated bit means that we can stamp on them, we can mist on them, we can add more to them. But if we do a quick flick through, because of course, you've seen a little glimpse on the cover sheet, but actually when you see these, you're going to fall in love with them if you haven't seen them already. But the cover sheet, perfectly usable. If you want to start trimming these out and using them, you're absolutely going to be able to do that if that's something you would like to do. Now these are so big, we're going to zoom out a little bit so I can start showing you them as I flick through them, because there's so many of these to go through and they're so beautiful, I don't want you to miss any of them. Now they do have a slight sheen to these, so when you're working with them, they're going to give you a bit of a radiance, a bit of a gloss, a bit of a shimmer. They're not too shimmery or shiny, but they've certainly got a nice element that they're going to catch the light in, which is really, really lovely. As I said, you can stamp on these with your dye inks if you'd like to. You can mist over them with your Elite Misters. You can even mist over them with our new mica mists. Anytime we're misting with our mica mist over a sort of glossy surface, then it might be wise to add just a little light shimmer of a hairspray or a varnish to make sure that it seals and that mica doesn't come away. That will work beautifully for you. Now, as you can see, these go through lots of different styles, lots of different tones, and that's really good because they can be built up even throughout the same kind of patterns to give you completely different looks. Now you'll also find in here, because we didn't want you to have to go out and find matching colour card. Of course, we've bought matching colour card for you, but you're also going to find within your pack, you have a few sheets that are going to give you the matching tones that are going to match in with all of the papers that we've been looking through. So maybe if we go in back to these scenes and we start bringing those in, you can see how well each of these tones is going to match in with the different shaded elements throughout those papers. So everything is going to coordinate for you no matter which sheet you pick up. Now that quick flick through, that shoe you just 30 of the sheets. Now, as I say, you're going to receive 2 of every single one of those. So literally double what we've already gone through is here again to give you 60 sheets in your pack, and the recommended retail price for that pack is $14.99. Now, of course, I did mention it, so I'm going to just share it with you just in case you missed it last week when we was chatting about it. Our Foundations card is back. Creative Expressions was world famous for their Foundations card, and of course when they closed the doors we lost access to Foundations card. When we reopened the doors at Creative Expressions and kind of acquired the company, one of the things I really was passionate about getting back was the Foundations card, because it truly is the foundation to everything I make and do. So how could I be without it? So we have started to bring it back. We've already brought back over 30 colours. On yesterday's shows, we featured these 4. There are another 26 available already. And there is actually plans. It's not a big secret because it tells you on the back. There are plans to take our collection all the way to over 100 versions of Foundations card. And it's already being picked, packed, produced and sent to us. The first 30 are here. The rest will be coming in the next few months as they can get them ready for us. But to match in with that paper pad, we of course needed to make sure we had the right shades of blue. So we have bought you azure blue, periwinkle blue, deep blue and ice blue. Now I might be wrong on this. I have a feeling today at HQ deep blue is sold out. Okay. I think it's deep blue. One of the blues sold out today. And this doesn't mean that you've got to panic. It just means that it's sold out with us, and that means it's in the hands of our stockists. So once again, I'll give you a little readout of all of our stockists that it's available from already, but we'll go through that again later. And if they haven't got it, I'm sure they'll be able to order it for you, so do not fear. Now, do we have any questions, or can we play and do some demos?
I think it's time to play.
Shall we have a little play? Shall we? Shall we have a little play? So where are we going to begin today? Oh, should we do this one? This is one I've wanted to actually do for a while. This one's a bit different. We're going to create this card, and it takes us off on a bit of a different tangent because it's kind of bringing in lots of elements, some of them from this collection, some of them not so much from this collection, but it's going to give us the chance to play around a little bit and play with some of the items that we've been talking about and some that we might not have been just yet. Now, have I lost my eye? Let's say, oh, I found my eye. Do not fear. I thought I'd lost my eye for my ivy, but I found my eye. We're all right. We can continue as we was. So what we're going to do to begin with is we are going to bring in our panel that we're going to be stamping onto. So let's just see if we can find a piece of card, and we're going to stamp out a panel. Now he says that with the plan that there should be a piece of card here, and there isn't. What have I done with it, I hear you ask? I have no idea. So we'll bring in a sheet of card. It is fine, do not fear. And we're going to bring in a stamp press to work with. And I actually thought, because we're doing it this time, we're going to do it slightly different. In this one, I've used our music stamp, but this time I thought actually we would go for our newsprint stamp, because I love this stamp. This is such a beautiful stamp, and it fits for so many occasions. And I really think actually that kind of vintage vibe works brilliantly for Christmas. So we're going to go for that one, and we're going to see if we can find an ink pad. I might actually go for the green ink tonight. I'm off on tangents again. I'm not doing anything I should be doing. We're going to go for chameleon green, because I think that could look kind of lovely. So we're going to go chameleon green over the panel. We're not going to be using this one, so it's not the end of the world. But I really like this. This is our quick dry pigment ink. So we're going to start off, and we're going to give that a good push down. Now my counters are a bit high, so I'm going to go up on tiptoes, see if we can get a good impression first time. See how we get on with that. I'm going to hold it in place. Oh, I've really missed that bit. Let's go down over this side. See how we're going. Oh, we might re-ink a little. Come on, stamp. Do your magic for us. Although I actually really like it a little bit faded. I never mind a faded stamp, especially with what we're going to be doing with it. But we'll amplify again a bit more. Now this stamp actually came out at the same time as the church, when we were talking about the church, didn't it? The pub, the church, the fairy tale castle, and bonus points for an... I know why that's not stamping. Here I am being a right.
Oh, we got double.
I'm trying to work out why how much ink. That's better, isn't
key
it?
magnets.
Oh, honestly.
Oh, James.
Honestly. You just can't get the demonstrators, can you?
We can see he's cleaned his stamp since last time, viewers.
I did. That's getting a bit better, isn't it? Now, I'm going to be honest. I think my stamp is up on that edge. But we're going to push down there. Like stamping in 7 times. This is like a workout. Probably the most work I've done all day.
Don't need the gym, do you?
I don't need the gym. I don't need the gym at all. So, okay, we're going to go over this and we're going to stick to one panel because, to be honest with you, life's too short to watch me stamp that again, isn't it? And we don't need any more than that. So we're going to cut that bit away and we're going to work with just this piece, which is fine. It's all we needed. I would actually choose to die cut mine, but we're not going to do that either. We're going to bring in a tray so we can work on a tray, and we're going to bring in those lovely mica mists. And I'm trying to think, actually, I might go gold. We went copper originally. Oh, I forgot I've got green, haven't I? Oh, I don't know. Let's go sage green. So with these, lots of mica in them. The mica will, of course, settle and go to the bottom because mica is obviously a heavier product. But in here, you will find like a little ball bearing. So we just give it a good old shake. Dave yesterday asked me, should we roll them? And I'm sure we probably should tell you to roll them, but shake's fine. And then we're going to mist over the top. So this is the sage green. So we are, of course, going to take away a little bit of that whiteness that's in the background, which is fine, because we're going to go over the top of that. And then we're going to bring in the gold. Now, on my one, I used copper, but we're going to go with the gold. And we're going to do it properly. We're going to give it a little look like we really know what we're doing. We don't, but it's fine. And then we're going to go over the top with some gold. Now, if at all you think you've gone too far, do not fear. And we're going to do this on half of it, so you get the idea. We're going to bring in a piece of paper, and we're going to blot away the excess. It's about halfway there. And we're going to take that away. But being honest with you, it will dry much more subtle than it started off. So where at that top bit, I don't know if you see, last week when we were here on Thursday, we did a panel, and it was a Rodney. And I said to you, I don't know, I might have taken that a bit too far. It dried beautifully. It ended up with the most beautiful shimmer, and we used the blue and we used the copper. So even if you think it has gone a bit too far, don't be alarmed. Let it dry, see what you think to it. The worst it's going to be is a piece of card that we possibly want to flip over and use the reverse to. But actually, whether we go for the light bit or the dark bit, I actually think I'm going to go back. I'm going to add more gold because I think I actually prefer it darker. It gives me more of a vintage tone. And I'm going to bring in that copper. We mentioned the copper. Let's bring in the copper because I think actually a little bit of that is going to give us even more of a vintage kind of feel. And we're going to leave that to dry. And it probably will take a while. So I don't know if I'm going to get to share it with you tonight, how that's going to look. But I'll try and remember to upload a photograph tomorrow. I'm going to pass that off to Pete so he can pop it somewhere to dry. To be honest with you, if you go put it outside, it'll probably be dry in about 3 minutes because it's baking here, isn't it? We'll place them off to one side and we're going to bring in the panel that we've created. So here we have our panel that I've already done. So with this one, we use the music stamp. And then with the ink pad, bearing in mind I was using the black, not the green, I've just taken the ink and I've gone round the edges with it so that I've taken on a bit more colour onto our scalloped edge. You don't have to do that, but it's going to kind of frame everything we're going to be working on slightly. So we're going to go for our card blank and then we're going to build up from there. So let's bring in our base and we're going to give you a measurement for this before I forget. So our card blank for this project is going to be 5 inches by 7. And we're going to start off by going up for some black card on a 1mm foam tape base. I know the bit I haven't done tonight, Pete, in all of our back and forthness. I haven't asked our stockists if they're with us.
You haven't.
We haven't, have we?
Maybe they've deserted us.
They might. I wouldn't blame anybody if they deserted us. Honestly, it amazes me every live we do that people tune in. Honestly. But if our stockists are with us this evening, please don't hesitate to pop a link to your stores in the comments. And if you don't have an online store, then let us know where you are, who you are, what you're doing. Do you do workshops? Do you do classes? What's going on there? Tell us something about you. Share with us where we can get these products. We tell everybody that you're going to have our products in stock. It would be lovely to be able to give them a bit of a helping hand to go and find them. So please don't be shy. Share a comment to tell us where you are. Okay, we now have our panel working and you can see, oh, look at that. Isn't that yummy? Let's bring you in a little bit. Ooh. Doesn't that look good? Can you see that shine? I love the way it sits over the top of the stamping. Kind of gives that little kind of mirrory glisten to the top of the stamping. Now this is just the copper. So when we did our stamping, don't forget we stamped in green and we added the white, we added the gold, we added the copper. This is just the copper over the black. I find that really pretty. Now I've gone quite vintage with my black edges. You don't have to. You don't have to do that at all. You could, and even like with the splatty bits of the mister, if you don't want it splattered as such, take it, put it out onto your mat, put some water with it so you dilute it down and paint with it over the top of your stamping, and you're going to end up with a very different effect. And if you're thinking he's talking in riddles again, he's not really being clear, I'm going to show you, because actually I think that might look really lovely. So what do we need to do that with? We need a mat. I don't want to make this one messy, so we're going to bring in a mat, and we're going to bring in, well, should we go for the blue? So we're going to activate the blue. Activate the blue. Sounds like gladiators, doesn't it? So we're going to bring that in. We're going to put that off to one side, and then we're going to find some water, to which we should have a mister bottle here somewhere. And we're just going to dilute that down just a little. We don't want it too intense. And we can always build up, but these are quite subtle. But we're going to still power it back a little. And we're going to bring in a paintbrush, and we're just going to paint over the top of it. And then we're going to end up with this really subtle colour instead. And we're actually basically colouring the cardstock, but you're going to get that colour take on differently around that stamping, and that's going to look really pretty. So don't be afraid to play. Even if we do this, even if we start off of this level and we go, well, actually, what we're going to do over the top now is we're going to mix with another colour. So we've got that base blue showing through, but then we're going to top it with the gold, or we're going to top it with the copper, or we're going to top it with the white. That'd look really nice too. So don't be afraid to play and build with your layers. So we'll do the blue one first. Got a little bit there. I'd like it a little bit more intense this side. If we're going to add to it, I don't want to leave it there, it's too subtle. So again, we'll pick up a bit more of that blue. And we're going to go over the edges, and we're going to swipe a bit in that direction too.
A lovely Natalie's watching. I think I saw her earlier. Pop up from Cheshire Crafts.
What do you mean you think you saw her earlier? Have you been out and about without me?
Well, then we froze, didn't we?
Have you popped to Cheshire?
Cheshire Crafts. Natalie, have you got a website? She's got a website. She's got a link to your website.
She's got a very good website. She's got a very good website, I'll have you know.
Pop a little link to your shop on there, Natalie, and a little link to your website.
Okay, in with some gold.
Didn't they just celebrate their 25 years?
They did celebrate their 25 years. They did.
25 years.
They did. Last week on Thursday, we were having a little look through
the magazine
article, weren't we? We haven't chatted magazines tonight. We need to chat magazines. Shall I show you some samples? Got some samples. I'll show you some samples. So look at that. Isn't that lovely? Don't let me forget. If you want to see some samples done by the DT with the magazine, remind me before I forget later. But isn't that lovely? So we've got blue, and doesn't it look like it was stamped in blue? Really nice. That'll dry differently. I'm going to give that to Pete. He can look after that, and then we'll have a little look at that later when it's dry, or maybe tomorrow, depending on how long it takes. How long I waffle on this evening, we'll see. So, okay, on to our next stage up for our card. So the next part we're going to do is we're going to bring in one of our scalloped ovals, and we're going to bring back in the stamp press. We're going to remove that stamp, and we're going to find one of the ones with our lovely characters. So for this one, we want that birdhouse. So where have we lost the birdhouse to? Here's the birdhouse. We've got the birdhouse. And we're going to put that in there, and we're going to stamp that on here. So back in again with our magnets. This time not double stacking them, honestly. We're going to pick that up. We're going to bring back in our black ink. And we're going to stamp that down into the middle. Much better. Wasn't that better? So much better than what we did with the newsprint one. I'm going to bring you out a little bit because you seem a bit close. You don't want to be that close to the birdhouse, do you? Feel like you've gone twitching. Okay. So with this one, what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of do what we just did in a kind of sense, but this time what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our colours, and I think we might go for the green. Should we go for that sage green? I did the original one in copper, but I think we'll go with the sage green. So we're going to use our mat. We're going to mist some of this out onto the mat. We're going to pick this up with a paintbrush, And we're going to go in and we're going to paint in the birdhouse green. And we're going to avoid the snow because obviously the snow we can do white. But we're going to go around the edges here. And we're going to paint this in. And this is what I love because with misters, and I think we're all guilty sometimes, I know I am, of kind of looking at it in a mister bottle and thinking, okay, well that's a mister. But it isn't. It's also a paint. It's also a mixative, so feel free to put it into your texture paste. It's also a great thing, a product to activate other products with, so such as like our enchanted sprinkles. If you want to create a different effect with those, they just need to be activated with moisture. So that it doesn't always have to be water. We always talk about activating them with water, but it doesn't have to be water. If you activate them with your mica mists, you're then bringing more mica to the table. And of course, it doesn't just have to be our enchanted sprinkles. It could be all of the different brands of explosion powders you may already have in your stash. And some of those don't have mica in them. So suddenly, if you bring in our mica mists and you start activating them with a product that's got mica in them, then suddenly you've taken your non-mica exploding powders and given them a mica makeover. I knew you'd like that.
Listen to him.
A mica makeover, that sounds like it should be a little change of room style show, doesn't it?
Sal's done that.
So now we're going to go in for the snowy white, and we're going to pick this up and we're going to go over the snow. So again, we end up with that lovely little shimmer coming in for where our snow is. Now, of course, I'm not an artist at all. This is about my limit when it comes to painting and colouring. I often confess I colour like a 2-year-old. You've possibly seen that already previously, but I'd never pretend I'm a professional colourist in any sense. If you're good at colouring, then of course you could go in shading, you could go in mixing, you could dilute down your colours, and then you've got all of the different tones that you might want to come in and add to create different depths to your snow, to your woodwork, to your greenery at the base here. So we might even mix a little bit of that to create a slightly lighter green to come in and add in some of our sort of grassy bits down the bottom here. And then we can leave that once again to dry, knowing that we're going to end up with that beautiful mica sheen created over the top there. Very simple, very easy, very effective. So now we've done that bit, let's take this out of the way. Let's find a cloth so we can wipe up my mat, because I have got a bit messy and I got this mat. I know we shouldn't do this, but we're going to for speed. But of course, all of that product that's down here on this mat could have been mixed into a texture base. We could have dyed a ribbon with that. We could have painted with it. We could have done a background with it. We could have done splats with it. So you never really, you know, don't do as I do kind of situation. Don't ever really wipe it up, because there's so many more things we can be doing with that. It's kind of sacrilege really to waste it as such. So on we go with our lovely birdhouse. And then we're going to go up to the top level of this card, and we are going to bring in our poinsettias. And this is what I love about doing a few Christmas releases in a year. It gives us the chance, an opportunity to bring you lots of different components that are going to work together. So this is our traditional poinsettia, and we're going to use a piece of not black card at all, piece of paper, honestly, piece of paper. And I used black ink last time, but because we've dug out the green, I think we're going to go green. Actually, we should go green and red, shouldn't we? Why am I doing green poinsettias? Well, green poinsettia leaves, but we'll start off with the green, and then I'm going to dig in my drawer and see if I can find some red. Should we do 2 green? I think 2 green might be too heavy. That one, by the way, is the chameleon green while I go digging for a red. Do we have a red in the drawer, Peter? We don't have a red in the drawer. This is a bad situation. There is no red and we're already green in. And I had red the other day. I found red. I didn't put it away. Do not fear, it was halfway out the door. So we'll go for squirrel red for the next layers up of our poinsettia. And we're going to again bring this in and go over the top. Now, if you've not seen these before, we need to do that die cutting, don't we, for Alison, wasn't it, who asked about the die cutting? We must do that before I forget. We'll do this and we'll do that. So with our traditional poinsettia, we have this beautiful deboss effect that as the die cuts, it's going to create that 2-tone effect, because we've got that 2-level effect. So when we then choose to go over it with inks, or if we go over it with all different manner of mediums, pens, etc., we're going to be able to colour the top one colour and leave the bottom the original colour of the card. And this can be really good fun, especially if you go to mirror cards and you bring in stays on inks and bits to colour them. So we're going to go over the tops of those bits. We're then going to bring in our tray, because we're going to go back to that. We're going to bring back our tray. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring these over and we're going to place them down on top here. Now I did mine in black, so it's going to look very different to this, but we're going to bring in our pieces, we're going to place them down, and then we're going to go back to our gold mist, and we're going to go over the top with the gold mist. Now what we're going to do is all of that white indentation, we're going to be colouring gold. And we're also going to give a golden shimmer to the top here. Now again, this is quite wasteful. We could have easily done this with a paintbrush instead and gone over the top of it and added that in that sense too. But like I said a moment ago, we don't have to waste any of this element that we've put into the background. We can of course hook these off of that tray and we can use that for the next part. So let's take these off. I'm going to pass these off to Pete to dry once again, and we'll come back to them at a later date. But it's a really lovely way to give your poinsettia that beautiful metallic shimmery effect. Here is one I've done earlier, already dry and already very sparkly and beautiful. So this is the copper, I believe, going over the gold. So you can still see some of the white come through, but it's given us a really vintage feel. And we're going to take this and we're going to add this to the top of our card. I've also added in the ferns underneath this too, and we're going to go off with kind of a corner element and we're going to 3D that up just a little. So nothing two-dimensional, too bold, but just a little bit of a pinch to give it a bit more life. Now, to finish this off, we're going to bring in a die to do some die cutting, and then we're going to show Alison how to do that deboss element. And the die we're going to start off with cutting, which I'm going to be honest with you, I've lost. Let's have a little look. Oh, here it is. It is our alphabet die. This is rather lovely. Have you all seen this? This is our typewriter grid alphabet. This is a Sue Wilson die, and it is absolutely ingenious. Sue has created a one die panel that cuts out and embosses all of your alphabet, all of your numbers and all of your punctuation. There is also solid discs as well. So maybe you want to stamp a snowflake on them, maybe you want to add a stamp of a letter on them, maybe you want to leave them plain. We were talking about this the other day. Once this is cut, it looks like a Connect 4 grid, which is really, really cool. So maybe you want to build that back as a Connect 4. Maybe you want to paper piece these in different colours. Maybe you want to write words in the actual dots instead, a bit like a cross-stitchy style of effect. Or maybe you want to use that grid and place this over your papers. Maybe you want to, that's not the right one. Let's bring this one in. Maybe you want to offset it so that you create a two-tone effect. This genuinely is one of my happy moments that I've discovered this die set, because I didn't know about it and I've absolutely fallen in love with it. When we bring up the letters, you can see that when this cuts, this is going to deboss beautifully. So all of your letters, all of your numbers are going to be debossed into each of those discs for you. You've got the plain ones, you've got the ampersands and your question marks, your exclamation marks and your hashtags. You've then got all of your numbers, and then of course you've got all of your alphabet as well. So loads and loads of options in how you're going to be able to use that component too. But also, just like we did with the poinsettias, when these are cut out, we can add colour to them. So let's take our little disc, and I've already got a little bit of black going off on the corner here, but we're going to take our disc and we're going to start bringing in our ink, and we're going to add this over the top. And you can see how easy this is just to colour the top of that disc and leave that background colour shining through. So whatever you've cut it in, whatever colour you've cut it in, whatever colour ink you want to bring to the top of this, to bring to the party, you're going to be able to do and add a different colour. Now, just like we did with the poinsettias, once I'd done those and I'd coloured them, I've then misted them with the gold as well. So our ivy here has got a lovely little shimmer to it, and that white has once again taken on a little hint of gold, nothing too bold, but a little hint of gold. So if we bring these in, we can then attach these down here onto our music to build up our word or our name or our sentiment, whatever it is that we wish to do. Now we have just had a little baby Ivy arrive in our family, so it's a name that means the world to me, and lovely to be able to add on to this little project. Now, of course, we might not be sending this out to an Ivy, but I'm sure you can pop those off and change them for whatever word or detail you'd like to have on there instead. But we would love to send this card out to somebody. We'll see if we can fit in another demo as well before we go this evening, and we'll send out both of them for you. But if you would like to win this card, what I'd like to ask you to do is to guess how many Mica mists are in the pot that Pete's going to jiggle for you. Are you ready, Pete?
Am I doing my jiggle?
You actually look like we've put you in a cupboard properly tonight. Why is it so dark over there?
Cupboard. Have you not illuminated me?
I haven't illuminated you. You're very dark over there. You look a bit blue, a little bit frozen. We can't sing. I'll take away the video.
Not chilly tonight. So if we can see in the pot, I need to know how many of these lovely little Mica mists are in my little pot this evening. We've just grabbed a handful from the warehouse today.
Can we have a twist of the tub?
Can we have a little look? See what's in there? All them glorious bottles of Mica mists.
I don't know how many you've put in the tub.
You don't?
I don't.
I didn't tell him.
I'm going to have a little guess myself, I think, before you announce the winner, so remind me. How many times are they allowed to enter this competition this evening? Usually you only allow them one guess.
Couple. Because we've had 2 videos tonight.
2 guesses?
2 guesses. 2 guesses.
2 guesses.
How many little bottles are in the pot?
Can we have a higher jiggle of the box?
Do we feel end up?
Do we feel
everywhere?
That we confidently know how many is in the box? I can't see that on our screen.
There's one less.
I think your camera's quite high. You're going to have to go much higher. Keep going. This is what I was worried about. I don't think that... Do you want me to do the jiggling?
You jiggle.
I'll jiggle.
With one
Pass
down.
to me. I'll jiggle. We'll go for it in all directions. Overhead shot of the jiggle. Should we do a front on jiggle? All the way round jiggle? That's as good as it gets. So how many is in the tub? You don't get this with anybody else, do you?
I don't.
Nobody else jiggles for
No.
you? Well, maybe not. Okay, moving swiftly on. So Alison, you asked about your die cutting, and I'm going to do that before I forget, because I said I was going to do it and I didn't do it. So we need to do it before I do forget, because I will forget. Memory like a fish. So let's find a die, shall we? I'm just going to waddle off to my board and see what die I can find that's going to fit this question, because I want one that's going to work well for you and show it the best it can show it. I'm going down a level. Give me a moment. I haven't done a runner. I will be back, maybe. Let's try it with this one. Let's play with this one. I think this one might be a good one to share with you. So, okay, let's go to our board so you can see. So we're going to use the stocking. Love the stocking. This would look really cool. This would look really cool. If you was to take the stocking and put Rodney coming out the top of it, you could put Rodney in the stocking, couldn't you? I honestly hadn't thought of that. Can we have a look at that? Would that work? I think that's going to work.
Listen to the excitement.
Little Rodney popping out of the stocking. I think that's kind of cute. Am I alone in this? Or maybe the elves. If you wanted something a bit... Or maybe
the elves would be good.
Oh, sorry, guys. I've gone off on a little tangent again. Oh, look at that. You imagine the little elf popping out. Little elf. Elf out the top of the stocking. You could get both of them in there.
Lynn says, you two kill me.
Sorry, Lynn. Sorry, Lynn. We're not good, are we? Okay, so what are we meant to be doing? We're meant to be showing you how this can cut and emboss and do everything in one go. So let's do that. Let's pay attention. For me, this is. So, okay, normally if we was going to cut a die, we would take the die, we'd put it onto the sheet, we'd put a piece of white card over the top of it, we'd send it through and it's all going to cut out. But if you wanted a solid panel, so you don't want these Christmas trees that are going to cut out to be cut out, and you want a solid. Now, admittedly, with this die, you don't need to do that because you could just cut that bit and it would give it to you. But we're going to go with it anyway because we've got this die and this is the one that we're going to work with. So we're going to place that down. We're going to put the next piece of card over the top. It's the second piece of card is going to be the one that's going to stay in place. The first piece will cut perfectly. The second piece, we're going to cut into it, but we're probably not going to cut all the way through it. You might find, depending on the die, depending on the machine, depending on the shim, you might cut a little bit and you might need to anchor it down on the reverse with some low tape masking tape or some foam tape. But 9 out of 10 times, you should find that the second cut stays pretty much intact. So, what have we created? Let's have a little look. So straight away, when we're looking on the reverse of this, we can see that those Christmas trees, they're cut in, but they haven't really cut all the way through. Same with the detail down here on the stocking. So if we're careful, and we pull this part away, and you might need to wiggle this a bit. you're going to get that black outline come away as it should. We don't need that. What we need is this bit. Now here, because of the pressure of the machine, and this is quite standard, you're going to find the two pieces have joined together. So we're going to give those a pull, and the white one is going to have cut perfectly fine. And all of these bits, there's a couple of bits left in there, we're going to be able to take those away. Come here. There we go. We can get rid of those bits, any of these bits that are in the wrong place. And we have got our beautifully cut stocking. Now with this one, all of these pieces, these white bits, they look lovely, don't they? And of course you could go in and you could glue them back in place, but they're not glued in place at all. They're just there with pressure. So they're going to start to come away, he says, quite easily. And you don't want to send your card and then these bits come away and fall off. Now, of course, normally we would push down and we would push through. But if we was to do that, these are quite intact. You could really push on it and it would go through. But we don't want to do that. We want that to be a solid. So my tip here is take something like the edge of a rule or a die and actually just run across the top of it. And you'll take off those excess white pieces. And then we're not pushing against it. We're not pushing it through. We're just removing the top parts. And we can take all of these bits away. And we've then got our perfect solid. Now you might like here, we've got a little bit of white because the fibres of the card have gone through and gone into it. Now, okay, depending on what we're doing with this, that might be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem, but it might be a problem. If it is a problem, colour it in with an alcohol marker. It will cover it. But actually, because we're going to put the white cut back on the top, you're not going to see that white. But you've now got a beautifully filled in die to go behind it. And that's as simple as that. So 1 layer, 2 layer, through the machine. And it's as simple as that. No rubber mat needed. I think you mentioned, Alison, you used a rubber mat. You don't need a rubber mat. A rubber mat would up the pressure. If we up the pressure, then we're going to find that we're pushing more pressure down on this and there's more chance it's going to cut through the black one as well. And we don't want to cut through the black one. We only want to cut through 1 layer. Another thing that this is worth pointing out is how much more that amplifies the embossing. So the embossing that this die does is much more prominent because we added more pressure to it with our second cut, which again really intensifies that. So maybe if you don't want to send your dies through twice with a shim or with a rubber mat, you can do this with a piece of scrap card. You know, we've all got them tubs of card that we think we're going to use and we never use. This can be a really time-saving hack to send that through and just amplify the embossing on your first die, even if you don't want that background cut to go behind it. Now that's going to work for you with every die you own. So whether that's a filigree butterfly that doesn't have a separate outside edge, a dragonfly, a flower, a picture, a background, whatever it may be, that technique should pretty much work across the board. Any questions, let us know. We can run through it again for you, but hopefully that helps. How are we doing for our guesses, Peter? Is anybody anywhere near?
Yes, a few people are very close.
How close are we?
Within a couple.
A couple as in 2 away?
Mm-hmm. I know.
That's some good guessing.
That's some good guessing.
That's some good guessing. Of course, whoever you don't have to get it exact. Whoever gets the closest will be the winner. So you're competing with somebody that's 2 away.
No one has got the correct amount yet.
No, but we're 2 away. You've got 2 guesses. Keep going. Okay, so a couple of bits I wanted to talk to you about before we do one more demo. I've got no idea what the time is, so we could be here for hours. But we are going to just talk to you about these bits quickly before I let you go. Die of the week, which I still think we should have a little jingle for. And I'm very let down that there isn't a jingle. But we are going to talk about Die of the Week just quickly. Die of the Week is what we bring in each week as a feature product on the Creative Expressions main page. Every day at 4 PM, we share with you a new card created with it. Now, most weeks I do a little demo with the Die of the Week, but tonight we've got quite a lot going on. So I'm going to give you a sneaky, because I'm doing this because I don't know which ones we've shared already, being honest with you. So I'm going to give you a sneaky, a few of the cards that you may or may not have seen already. I don't know, because I can't remember which ones we've scheduled for what days. But this is the die of the week. It's a Christmas die. It is called Pinwheel Snowflake. Its number is CED 3279. It has 6 dies within the set. It's beautiful because the only thing that makes it Christmassy is the snowflake in the centre, which means you can take this and you can take it off on so many different sort of journeys depending on what you wish to put in it and how you wish to decorate on top of it. So as you can see through the 3 I'm going to share with you this evening, we can go summery with our beautiful florals and our butterflies and that lovely yellow sherbet cardstock. We could go full on winter with the periwinkle card, adding that snowflake in the centre, adding those snowflake corners, bringing in our traditional poinsettia and our ferns to wrap around it. Or of course, we could leave out that middle completely and we can add in the insert of our brand new papers instead. Now this die to me is a real fun one to work with because it's got all of them different options and directions we can take it off in and all of those different ways in which you're going to be able to use it, which I absolutely love. Now the recommended retail price for this die set is $14.99. Now I have a feeling if you type into Google Sue Wilson CED 3279, you're going to find that in a lot of stockists around the world, and you're going to find different price points, which is what we always love because that gives you the freedom to pick where you wish to purchase it from and which stockist you wish to support. But it is a great die for you to add into your collections, and certainly one that's going to work really nicely with them brand new papers that we're bringing you in our brand new launch. Okay, before we forget, shall we chat magazines? So last week we mentioned, last Thursday, that I've got a free gift on front of the Die Cutting Essentials magazine. Now I would love to go, here is a copy of it, but we gave our copy away live on last Thursday's Thursday night Natter. And we're meant to be getting some through the post, but they haven't yet arrived. So I can't show you what it looks like, but we do have a free gift and it has got lovely little panel dies in it, our pizza panel dies that are going to be great for you to work with your original kaleidoscope die, our Christmas kaleidoscope die. Pete's got my one. I'm going to bring this in for you just so I can show you. Please forgive that my dies are missing from it. I haven't got all of the dies, so I'm going to take them out of the way so you can see the packaging instead. But this is what you're looking for if you go shopping for it. You will find it in your supermarkets, you will find it in some independent craft stores, and you will find it in WH Smith's or TG Jones, depending on how you know it. This has for you 2 segments to go with your kaleidoscope. It has a plain outside edge and it has a scalloped outside edge, and it has Merry Christmas, and it also has the corner die in there as well. So to me, I think that's pretty incredible because you're actually receiving 7 dies, if I remember rightly, that give you a whole host of ways you can use them. There is also a download paper pad completely free of charge that you can go on and download and use with this set if you wish to. And as you can see, there are elements and backing papers and loads that you can play around with that as well, whether you're using them with the dies or independently. It's our first die set that we've done for a magazine, and we know that you've all been hunting literally high and low to find it, which is absolutely incredible, and we're so pleased to see it proving so popular. Our DT, a couple of our DT members have been crafting very quickly to share some inspiration with you. This is a card that Diane's created, actually using that corner element. I'm just going to give these a little pinch to bring them back up a little, but she's brought that corner element in and she's kind of done like a tea bag folding style with this, which is really lovely. You can see that she's added the corners down and then she's folded these ones to make the 3D element on the top there. She's brought in our traditional poinsettia to add details around it. Works beautifully. Another one here done by Diane where she's used both of the sections and she's used the flat edge that runs around it, and then she's used that larger scalloped edge to create the circle around the edge of it, and then she's used the corner in the background and the Merry Christmas on the front. So really bringing in a lot of the components from this sort of freebie to show you how you can work with them. Here's one I did, and you can find instructions on how to do this in the magazine if I remember rightly. This is our Christmas tree created with the segments. That looks really lovely. Diane's done another one here where she's brought the segments in and turned them into very modern pink Christmas trees. And then I'm going to show you a couple from Lynn as well. This I was a bit oohed and ahed over. Isn't this gorgeous? This is like a proper fan that's been created with those segments. Now, if you haven't already got the magazine, maybe you've already got the OG, the original kaleidoscope set, or the Christmas kaleidoscope set. This could be done with all of those, including the magazine set, to make these beautiful fan elements that Lynn has then put onto a twisted easel that just looks wonderful, doesn't it? Doesn't that look so opulent and expensive and gorgeous? Very, very luxurious. Loved that. Now another one here done by Lynn, where Lynn has brought those segments in and she's gone for some of our diamond white glitter and she's added that over a self-adhesive sheet and cut into them. She's backed the segments with that backing triangle to create this beautiful enchanted sprinkle shimmer shining through. She's added Merry Christmas onto it and brought in our brand new snowflakes as the central part to that one. Another one here done by Lynn. Lynn this time has gone for the holly segment. She's put in the scalloped or sort of pinking edge circle that comes in with one of the kaleidoscopes. She's added on these lovely holly elements and berries to top it off. She's used the corners that comes in with the Christmas kaleidoscope set as well, showing you how this can work independently or it can mix and match in with the original ones. Another one done here by Lynn using the holly sections again and bringing in our enchanted sprinkles, not only to make the background panels, but also to colour our poinsettias and our ferns. And then another one I've done that, again, I believe you're going to see featured in the magazine. And I've actually cut these and raised them. And then I've done a little vellum wrap round and added on the Merry Christmas to it. I'm not going to talk too much about these ones because you're going to see them in the magazine if it's something you choose to get hold of. But again, this time using glitter to go behind them. This time focused more in on the papers and adding the corner elements in. And this time going for a lovely white and navy style instead. But it truly is a die set you're going to have a lot of fun with. And if you haven't already joined in with a kaleidoscope fun, whether it's the original, whether it's the Christmas, or whether it's the octagon kaleidoscope set, this might be a great way for you to get on in there and see if you enjoy playing with a kaleidoscope and seeing what you can create with it and opening up a new avenue of creativity. And then if you fall in love with it, those other sets, of course, are available from our stockists. If you have any questions about where you can hunt down that magazine, then do let us know and we will pop a link in the comment that you put up telling you where you can email to find out more information. We've had a lot of people question, can I buy it in Australia? Can I get it in America? Can I get it here and there? And we will direct you to Practical Publishing, the people who actually manufacture the magazine for us, and they will be able to tell you whereabouts their stockists are around the world. So any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. Now, shall we do one last card before we leave you in peace? Because I feel like we've been chatting forever. I don't know if it's as long as I feel it is. It might not be. I think we come back again. It'll be nice though to finish it off with one more bit of inspiration. Now, if you are looking for more inspiration from this collection, not only of course do you have us here on our live this evening, Gwen is back on Thursday and Gwen will be bringing you more Rodney madness at 7 p.m. on Thursday right here on the Creative Expressions main page. And then on top of that, on Saturday, I subtly tried to get away with that and I failed, didn't I? The telly's going to time out again. I don't know why. We need to fix the telly, Pete.
Okay.
Write it on the list.
It's a long list.
It's a long list at the moment, isn't it? And every day the list
Tech
gets longer.
department, fix the telly.
Tech department, work out why does the telly keep turning off. Okay, where was I? Saturday the 23rd of August. Gwen will also be taking Rodney and Friends. And maybe some other bits and bobs. That's my first tease of the night. It's my first tease of the night. Are you impressed? We've got all this way through. First tease of the night. Some other bits and bobs that I'm going to let Gwen tell you more about closer to the time. But Gwen will be heading down to Craft Bliss in Poole Saturday 23rd of August from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Not only will she be taking Rodney and Friends or family, and maybe some other bits that I can't, of course, talk about right now. There will also be some goodie bags and also a very cool, we still haven't come up with a name, demo day die of the day.
Die of the demo day.
Every time I think I've got this, I've lost it. Die of the day. Die of the demo. Demo of the day.
Barry
Demo
and
die.
Judy's pick of the day.
I don't know.
I
don't know. It will have a proper name by the time, I'm sure. But there's also a very good die with a huge saving that you can purchase individually. Goodie bag that you can purchase 10 till 4 on that day. Even if you pop in and just get the special offers and ooh and ah at what might be new. It'll certainly be worth going along. But Gwen's full of inspiration and you can have a lovely day. Rodney will, of course, be featuring. But before we go too far, let's have a little look at this card, shall we? So this one is, again, created with our lovely collection that we're looking at. And this one features our Rosie. Now, Rosie is going to be the star of this one. Again, very simple, nothing complicated, and we're going to speed craft through this one just because I think you're probably getting bored of me this evening. You've had a lot of me this week, haven't you? Well, we was here Thursday, I was on Hobby Maker yesterday, then you're tuning in today. You're probably sick of me, so we're not going to linger too long. We'll do this one quickly. So for this creation, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our card blank, and we're going to give you a measurement on that one, just so you can craft along at home if you wish to and create something similar. This one is just shy of 8 inches, so it's a store-bought 8-inch card. So it'll come with an 8-inch envelope, and this is just slightly shy of that. We're going to bring in our new foundations card, or back in stock foundations card, depending on how you wish to word it. And, oh, Joanna's got Gwen's die of the day. I like that, Joanna. See, this is why we need to take advice from you all. You're much better at this than we are. Much, much better. Gwen's, you need to write this down, Pete. Gwen's die of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's quite good, actually. Gwen did pick it, so I like that. We could roll with this. I like that. That's handy. Thank you, Joanna. See?
Joanna has got a question before that, you know, she disowns me for not reading it out. She's asked a couple of times. I think I get a bad star for that.
Do we get
self-volunteered bad star?
Self-volunteered bad star. I'm for it.
Before I get told again.
I heard a rumour. Where was we? Who was we talking to the other day? I think we were talking to Emma, one of our lovely DT members, who's the lovely person who sent us the star charts. And I said to Pete, oh, I haven't got any stars in a while. So, you know, because Emma said, like, how's the star charts going? And I said, I haven't. Well, it was Emma, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I said, I haven't got any stars for a while. Pete said, little do you know. I was like, what? He said, little do you know. He said, look back a couple of weeks and I have gone star overload. And I did say tonight, actually, we needed to check in with the star chart to see what's on the boards, because I have a feeling that he should earn a couple more naughty stars, because I think he's been a bit fraudulent in his recordings. Oh, come on. What is this?
Look at all them stars. See?
What live
1, 2,
was it?
3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't matter when it was. He's got them on his chart. But then we look at good old Peter, wherever he is. Oh, there's nothing on my one.
So I've got 7 stars.
Don't forget the other 2 here.
7.
I don't get that out at all now, do I?
I don't even have words for this fraudulent behaviour. I really don't. We're going to move swiftly on, and I feel we'll have to rewind the tapes and get an independent adjudicator in to verify how many stars we both have.
That chart's been locked away in my office. Not that I've got an office, but it's going to be locked away in it.
Something's going to be locked away in a minute. 7 stars. I'm not convinced that's allowed at all. Okay, into the middle of our frames. We're using our square snowflake frame. We'll carry on our domestic later, don't you fear?
We never did get to Joanna's question.
Didn't we? See, another star for Peter. Another star.
No, well, I think that's one for you. Joanna, bad star, definitely. Happy to hear you ask, Jamie. Honestly. Anyway, Joanna asked earlier about Rodney.
What about him?
She said, is the one from last year, the original one, is it the same size as the new one?
OG Rodney.
I think that was your question, Joanna.
Honestly, if it isn't Joanna, then I think he deserves another star.
Another star.
Honestly, you just can't, can you? Great question. Thank you for asking. So here we have OG Rodney, the original Rodney. This is new Rodney. If I lay that over the top of the die, you can see we're pretty much spot on. Obviously, his stance is slightly different, but it's not far out.
Diane, help me out. I'm very tired tonight.
Don't go coming up with excuses.
Diane, you're my ally. No, what's the one?
I don't know, but I just stopped where
anyway,
you are.
she's
You're
the one I go
already
to.
in trouble.
She says you earned one from me and Jamie regarding the fruity remark about Rodney.
This is true.
What was the fruity remark?
We're not going there, not live. No. Facebook will be sending me letters and all sorts.
I think I was reading comments at the time.
We're not having that chat.
You didn't bring Rodney's carrot into it, did
I
you?
did not. We're going to stop there, Peter. Behave over there. Honestly, you just can't get the hostages now.
Diane leads me astray. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Diane also punishes you with stars. So I feel, Diane, that's at least 3 stars for Peter this evening.
3.
3. Minimum of 3. I have a feeling, actually, if we're going to dish out stars, that my dad's been in here and he's taken my low-tack tape. Because it's gone. So I'm not going to do this, but you can see the idea. The die matches up perfectly with our stamped image. We would send that through. We would end up with a lovely cut out image. This one, I've taken my misses again. I've put them out. I've painted with them. And then I've used a white gel pen to just go over the top of them, just to add in a few additions onto Rosie's hat and gloves and bits. Of course, you can stop wherever you wish to, but it's nice to be able to add in those few details. So we're going to bring in Rosie and we're going to just lift up those snowflakes and we're going to place her just down here. So she's going off of that part. Now, I have a feeling that out of my word, all I can find here now is an E. And I really don't think we can just stick a random silver E on our project. So we are going to have to cut some more letters, which is good because you'll get to see that die in action, if I can find it. Do we know where we put the die, Peter? It's all going terribly wrong this evening, isn't it? Where have I hid the alphabet die? Have I had it once already? Do we think I've had it once?
Definitely had it once.
Have I had it once? I don't know. I had the die for it. I had the packet. I don't know if I had the die. The wheels are falling off the train. We're left with an E and no die. Honestly.
Such a professional, polished outfit.
We're not at all. No, that's still not the ones. Where have I put it then? I've got no idea. Let's let Pete dig for a minute and see if he can find the rest of the letters, because we cannot just stick a random floating E on our project. And I don't know where I've put the B and the E. Not that we know a Ben. But we didn't know a Ken yesterday. We had Ken on yesterday's card. And now we've got Ben. I feel like we need to start advertising for friends with 3-letter names. I don't know where they've gone.
It's like the rail has come off the rails.
The rails have. Should we just leave it without a word? Maybe that's actually, in fairness, maybe that's better because we're going to be sending it out. So if anyone's still watching us, which I wouldn't blame them if they're not.
I think the viewing numbers have plummeted.
Probably. I think we're going to leave it plain. And then that way, whoever wins it can pop on a name of their choice. Because let's be honest, they probably don't know a Ben either, or a Ken. So should we leave it blank? Good recovery? I thought so too. So, let's leave these people in peace, Pete. Should we do the bits that we haven't done yet? Let's chat homework. So this week's homework mission, it started yesterday. There is a post up already. Usually we tell you that the post will come on Tuesday. It's already there. So, because it's Tuesday. So if you haven't already seen it, it's on the group, Creative Expressions official group. But just to recap, just quickly, if you haven't seen it, this week's mission, we are looking for you to make an A6 card. And we would like some sort of form of transport on your card. Maybe this is a hot air balloon, a car, a train, a plane, a boat, whatever it may be. We want to see some form of transporty thing to it. And then we would like that to also have a hint of gold. Now this could be as minute as a few gold gems. It could be a gold matte layer. It could be a mist of a brand new Mica mist in gold. Whatever you wish for it to be. It could be a gold peel off. It can be whatever you want it to be. But somewhere on your project, we would like to see a little bit of gold. So hint of gold, transport theme on an A6 card. So we're going dinky, transport, hint of gold. And you can enter all the way up to 5 PM next Monday, which will be Monday the 18th of August. To enter, pop onto the group, submit your post as an individual post, and add on to it for me, please, #adventure to enter. So #adventure. That way, when we come to pick our winners, and later down the line, when we want to see what inspiration you will come up with, we can just enter #adventure into the search bar and all of your entries will appear. So it's also a great way to see what's also already been done. Now, remember, this isn't a talent contest. You're all insanely talented, but it isn't about a talent contest. So if you're a little bit nervous and you think, oh, I see one yesterday, mine don't quite line up, I bet it does, because we never value our own work. But it isn't about that. The winner is chosen at random by a random generator. So the more times you enter, the more chance you've got to win, and you could win a £40 goodie bag of Creative Expressions goodies. We pick one winner every week and we will post it to you anywhere in the world. It's our way of saying thank you for joining in with our homework and keeping us all inspired and enjoying the missions, because every week our mission sends you off on a different task, on a different theme, usually a different size and a different colour. So it really helps push us all out of our boundary and think of things that we haven't done before. Now, of course, the items that we've had a little look through this evening, all of our lovely snow people, and of course those beautiful frames, the papers, the micas, all of those bits are available from our stockists as of 10 AM today. So if you're catching up now or later on, they are now already available, and all of the stockists I'm about to read out have them en route. Even if they haven't announced them yet, they will be announcing them very soon, I'm sure. So take a quick note of this. We are looking at Into Craft, Craft Bliss, Hazel's Crafts, Cheshire Crafts, Gilly's Crafts, Dragon's Paper Craft, Craft Mania, A Crafty Place, Glitterbits Crafts, The Art of Craft. They're all UK stockists as well as Hobby Maker. And then we move a little bit further afield, just about as far as we can get. We're going to jump all the way to Australia and we're going to mention J Craft. Then we're going to hop back a little. We're going to go to New Zealand and we're going to chat about picture crafts. Picture stamps. I always do that. Picture stamps. I think it's because everything else is crafts. Don't take a lot to confuse me. But picture stamps in New Zealand will also have these products available for you. If you have any questions or you get stuck finding any of them stockists, then please let us know. And of course, you can check out the Stockist list on our website, which is www.jamierodgerscrafts.com. Give that a little click on the Stockist list and it'll open up and it'll give you all of the links to all of the people that we've just been chatting about. Is there anything I've missed, Pete?
Just the winner we need to announce.
Winners. We need to do the winner. So don't forget, our homework winner was, of course, Amanda Gregory. And as I mentioned earlier, Amanda, if you could email us with your location so we can pop in the post your homework prize, that would be lovely. But of course, we also need to share our cards that we have created this evening and send those out to one recipient. So could we please, Peter, have a little jiggle of the box again? Just before we reveal the number. Can I have a jiggle? I'll have a jiggle and I'll have a guess. I'm always pants at these things, so I doubt I'm going to be anywhere near.
Lynn's called us the Ant and Dec of Great Yarmouth.
Ant and Dec, I don't think Ant and Dec are polished and professional and probably now have a clue what they're doing, but we'll take it as a compliment. Thank you. I'm going to go with 87. Am I like miles out?
No, not miles out. You're quite good, actually.
Okay.
That's where I've got to reveal
Come
who
on
the
then.
winner is.
Let's go over to our independent adjudicator, who is very fraudulent when it comes to star charts. So let's hope he's a little bit more on the ball when it comes to misters. What numbers are we talking and who is our winner, Peter?
So the correct number is 97.
Oh.
From what I could... Well, that looks dangerous.
Come on, don't build suspense.
The correct number was 97, and from what I can see, a bit tired tonight. I can't even talk. The winner tonight, let's get on with it, is Pat Asquith. So congratulations, Pat. She guessed 99.
Oh, how lovely.
So yeah, congratulations, Pat. If you let Jamie do the official bits, I got it wrong last time.
I actually think, because I picked up there a little air of hesitation that he wasn't too sure if it was Pat or it wasn't. I think that's star-worthy too, don't you?
No, definitely Pat.
One job over there. One job.
I do
to
look
pick
very
a winner.
blue, don't I? I need some illumination.
Blue is the least of your problems.
Red.
Okay, so Pat, could you please send us an email with your address and we'll have your cards popped in the post to you straight away. Email us at jamierodgerscrafts@hotmail.com. We used to tell you to message the page, but nobody can ever find out how to do that. So email it is to hopefully keep this simple for you. You can also message us if you do find that easier, but we're up for it. Either way, just send us, make contact somehow, let us know your address and we'll get these popped in the post to you. Okay, sorry all if it's been slightly chaotic this evening, but it has been an absolute joy having you all with us. I can see that loads of you have stayed with us, which is lovely and incredibly enjoyable. So thank you. We will check up on the comments and make sure that we haven't missed anything too important. But thank you for giving us your time. Don't forget, Gwen will be back on Thursday evening at 7 PM. And again, she'll be sharing some inspiration with Rodney. But from me, good night.
And good night from me. Thank you for joining us.
And we will see you next Monday at 7 p.m.
Absolutely. Good night.
Night all.
Night.